Okay, one more little video. Thank you so much. I sincerely hope you've placed me on faster than regular speed, but I wish I could speak faster. Hey, you need to have open for this assignment. Um, you need your three dissecting assignments open because you're going to be looking at all three of them. You'll probably want the website open. And then you'll probably want to pull out the little packet that you used last week for the Big Three tabletop convo, because now we're going to start practicing putting together some thesis statements. Okay, so you need all of your stuff out in front of you, and you'll see why in just a second here. If you need even more ideas about thesis statements, there's a video for you to watch. Okay. And then again, this is all going towards your final reflections. You know me, I like to post everything everywhere. These particular thesis statements, you're just taking a stance, you're just making a claim, you're just having an opinion, an observation on just something you've absorbed, understood. In this particular exercise, I'm going to make you do this for each of the big three. But again, remember, for this final project, it can be any two identities. Okay, so you're not doing intersectionality so much right here. I'm just trying to get you to think through kind of, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so for example, here's one kind of based on race. Obviously, I just made these up, not about me. But through learning about redlining and my family's history with the Chinese Exclusion Act, I've come to learn that where you live is heavily influenced by race. So here I did, because of Y and Z, A equals B, right? Because through learning about redlining and through my family's own history, where you live is heavily influenced by race. That's the claim. That's the A equals B. There's one example. Another example, there's no reason college shouldn't be free in our society. Period. Period. Now, what you can start playing around with is that thesis statements can be more than one sentence, because this is one sentence, but that's just my A equals B. My anchor statements are learning about the school to prison pipeline and then thinking about my family's legal status. Okay, so again, this whole thing is a thesis statement, but here's my claim and here are my anchors. One more. I honestly used to think therapy was only something for girls, but after learning about men's mental health statistics and my own experience with how men, quote, should act in anxiety and depression, I think men don't utilize therapy enough. So again, my claim is actually back here, and I'm using some statistics and my own experience to prove it. Okay, so now I want you to practice doing this for each one of the big three. So start with your dissection of race. What are some big takeaways that you got from the source material? And by source material, I mean the website, or it could be anything that you found, but just that kind of like source material, just big things you heard, learned, realized, whatever, just about race. And this is why I asked you this question for the discussion. Okay, just write that down, just brainstorming first. Then, what are some connections you can make to you or your family's lived experiences in regards to race? So now this is coming from those reflection questions at the bottom of the dissecting document. Okay, so things that you can make, and these can be multiple things. And these can be things that you didn't necessarily put on that document the first time, right? Again, just brainstorming, just brainstorming. Can you think of connections to Born a Crime when it comes to race specifically? Like, where are some instances where he specifically talks about race, ethnicity, color, language, kind of all of that stuff? Okay. So, based on all of this kind of like brainstorming here, now I want you to practice putting it together in a thesis statement that looks something like this. Now, me, your teacher, currently this year, I say you can use personal pronoun, which means words like I and my and we and our. Me, I say that. So try to put that together. Just using one bullet point from here, one bullet point, maybe two bullet points from here, maybe a bullet point from Born a Crime. Try it out, see what happens. We're just practicing. But come up with a big thesis statement for just race. Just race. And then unsurprisingly, you're going to go through and do that same process for the other two of the big three. So you think about your big takeaways that you learned about class. Think about connections that you or your family can make to any of the issues surrounding class, citizenship, education, accessibility, anything that would fall kind of under this umbrella. See if you can make some connections to Born a Crime. And then again, try to put it down together in one thesis statement. And then one more time, do the same thing for gender. So what are some big things that you took away from this section? Some connections you think you can make, both to your lived experience and to the text. One more time, put it into this box down here. So all I'm really asking you to do today, well, your end goal is to come up with 3 thesis statements. Kind of sort of look like these. Thought out, clear, I can see a claim, I can see anchor statements. But I'm also asking you to do a little bit of brainstorming, a little bit of narrowing down in terms of what you thought. These are literally just bullet points. This is not it's not a writing assignment. This is more like an organization assignment. Because next week, then I'm going to ask you to take 2 of these thesis statements or others and kind of combine them into the example that I showed you earlier. See how everything is kind of like relating. It's all coming together over here. Barnaby agrees with me. He's going to go get a snack. I think I'm going to get a snack too. I deserve it. Try to have this document done by next class, please and thank you. We'll do the best we can. And you guys are the best.